Hello everyone, I'm Jhomai Canlas and I'm here to discuss a part of Module 3 titled History, Development and the Practice, and Concepts and Principles Adopted from Commercial Marketing, which is still under the topic of social marketing. By now, you probably already know what social marketing is, its purpose, and its audiences. Now, I am going to discuss with you the social marketer's role in influencing upstream and midstream audiences, and later on, I will also discuss one social marketing campaign in the Philippines. You may all know by now that the primary audiences of social marketing are the most at-risk populations, and they are called downstream audiences. According to this man, Georgetown University professor Dr. Alan Andreessen, in his book titled Social Marketing in the 21st Century, most observers and practitioners see social marketing as a downstream approach to influencing people with bad behaviors. He calls them as problem people. However, he believes that social marketing's real potential is about influencing the behavior of many target audiences, including upstream and midstream audiences, if we are going to solve major social problems. Before we talk about the role of the social marketer in influencing upstream and midstream audiences, I would like to define them first. Ross Gordon from the University of Wollongong defines upstream audiences as those who shape the structural and environmental conditions within society. These people include politicians, policymakers, civil servants, decision makers, regulators, managers, educators, and the media. Meanwhile, midstream audiences are those with the ability to influence others in the target market's community, and they are usually family members, neighbors, co-workers, and friends. Dr. Andreessen believes upstream and midstream audiences can bring about widespread, long-lasting, positive social change. That is why social marketers should broaden their scope beyond individuals or consumers and give attention to those who help shape the determinants of human behavior. Now I'm going to discuss with you upstream and midstream social marketing. And first, let's tackle the former topic, which is upstream social marketing. Upstream social marketing can be used to influence the behaviors of decision makers and opinion formers who can induce policy changes, which in turn those policies can influence the environment in which individual behaviors operate. One example of a campaign that used upstream social marketing is Health Canada's campaign called Heather, which fought for a secondhand smoke in the workplace. The campaign featured Canadian waitress Heather Crow, who was a non-smoker but worked in a smoke-filled restaurant for 40 years. The campaign materials showed that Heather was dying from lung cancer due to secondhand smoke, and the campaign became successful and produced the Smoke-Free Ontario Act in May 2006. Also, many communities, provinces, and cities in Canada invoked bans on smoking in workplaces, restaurants, and bars after she had visited them and made her personal appeal. Now, let's move on to midstream social marketing. This one is concerned with the immediate social environment of target populations, such as community, local institutions, public services, personal networks such as family and friends, as means to facilitate change. It is typically built upon community-based models, incorporating learning from community development and action research. One example of a midstream social marketing campaign is the Smoke-Free Homes and Cars program in 2021. This campaign aims to reduce the prevalence and norms of smoking in homes and cars in England, United Kingdom. So the downstream audiences for this campaign were parents of young children living in deprived communities where the prevalence of smoking is above average and the perceived norm is that everybody smokes. So at the midstream level, Smoke Free sought the collaboration of local health agencies that have public health goals and specifically those staff whose roles involve close contact or have ongoing relationships with families with young children. So this includes staff from children's centers, children's hospital nurses, health visitors, midwives, community health development coordinators, and their volunteers. So the purpose of bringing together this network of actors was to harness their capacity to motivate and support behavior change by having conversations with families about smoke-free. So the campaign is still running up to this day to attain a smoke-free England by 2030. So wrapping up about this topic, remember that the process and principles of upstream and midstream social marketing are the same as those used for influencing downstream audiences, or what Dr. Andreessen um, referred to as problem people. So now I'm going to share with you um, uh, a social marketing campaign which happened in the Philippines. In August 2019, a non-government organization called Breastfeeding Pinays, in collaboration with Department of Health, SM Cares, United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF, and with funding from Korea International Cooperation Agency or KOICA and World Vision, celebrated National Breastfeeding Awareness Month with an event called Hakabna 2019. You may scan this QR code to see a video of the event. Hakabna is an annual event, and in 2019 it gathered more than 1,500 women to a Manila stadium. These women are mothers who breastfed their children in support of a public campaign to get more women feed their babies breast milk over formula. So other than families, the event also brought together support groups, advocates, government, and non-government organizations. And they have exchanged ideas on providing proper information and support to Filipino mothers and their families to enable them to breastfeed and practice good infant and young child feeding. So apparently, malnutrition is a major burden in our country, and it accounts for 45% of under 5-year-old deaths. In 2016 alone, the World Health Organization recorded 27 deaths out of 1,000 children before the age of 5. The Department of Health, World Health Organization, and UNICEF believe that an estimated 8,400 lives could be saved each year if every Filipino family with infants and small children practice optimal breastfeeding. For those who don't know yet, optimal breastfeeding means initiating breastfeeding within an hour of birth and then breastfeeding exclusively, not even feeding them water for up to 6 months of age, and then continuing breastfeeding a child up to 2 years of age. Also, just so you know, not only children suffer from not being breastfed. Mothers who do not do it are also more prone to develop life-altering and life-threatening cancers as well as type 2 diabetes. Basically, there are serious health and economic consequences associated with not breastfeeding. Globally, the World Health Assembly has set a target to increase the exclusive breastfeeding rate to 50% by 2025. Although the Philippines has made commitments and taken important steps towards this benchmark, the exclusive breastfeeding rate has remained somewhat stagnant over the years. Latest rates, latest rates show just 34% of children under 6 months are exclusively breastfed in the country. Although Breastfeeding Pinay's Hakabna annual event is just one of many breastfeeding awareness campaigns in the country, clearly more must be done to reach that 50% target. For me, I think the best way to reach more audiences is to create effective and well thought upstream and midstream social marketing campaigns. Right now, based on my observation, I think we still have this thinking that breastfeeding babies, especially in the public, is embarrassing. And I think that there are not enough breastfeeding areas in public spaces. That is why, through upstream and midstream social marketing, we can tap potential people who can build these safe spaces or safe areas where mothers can feed their babies through breastfeeding. Thank you everyone for listening to my report. Now to gauge your learning, here are two discussion activities you may participate in answering. First, identify a social problem you would like to address in your community or in the country and create an upstream or midstream social marketing campaign for it. Second, give another example of a social marketing campaign in the Philippines or internationally. That would be it again. Thank you very much and have a nice day, everyone.